Alright, welcome back guys, or welcome if this is your first time here. I'm Vision here with Blind Entertainment, bringing you guys another video. Today we're talking about my review for the 100 Season 5 Episode 12, Damocles Part 1. So if the 100 is something you're interested in, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon. That way I don't miss any more future 100 content from me moving forward. Now let's begin. Octavia and them, they're waiting for the space crew to give the signal due to the original plan. They were waiting for their signal, so you got them on the ground, and then you got Murphy and the rest of them who are like used as a distraction to move a lot of McCreary's men out of the way so that one crew can pass safely. Now I like this because our group doesn't know that Kane and Diaz has betrayed them pretty much, so they think this is gonna be a straight shot, no issue, but they are unaware of the betrayal. So I really like that. It shows how things could go messy and how things can get messed up. So I like that. The battle scenes are pretty cool. I like the fight with the space crew and the prisoners. Pretty cool. One of my biggest cons though is the scene where Murphy with the gun. Cause I feel like that was played off in this episode for just the laughs. Where it just annoyed me. It was like they had this big plot with the last episode with him wanting a gun. He finally gets it. But this episode, it's all just him trying to use the gun, but it doesn't work for him. And it's just used for laughs, which are cheap in my opinion. It feels weak and it just felt like stupid and a waste of time. But then you got one crew on the ground. They got the distraction, so they go to move in and to attack. However, of course, as we know, Kane and Dioza betrayed them, and they end up getting ambushed by the prisoners. So this is the biggest one of my other big cons is right before they're ambushed is you got a moment between Octavia and I think the kid was Ethan. And this is my biggest con is that they do nothing with the kid up except for maybe a few short scenes with Maddie earlier in the season. But nothing is really done with this kid. They build him up to be this big character at the end of last season, then nothing's done with him. He's kind of like that kid from Under the Dome that they did in season 2. And that's one of the things I hate about this scene, is because they don't do anything with this character. They just recognize him for this 5 seconds and then he's shot dead. So that annoyed me. But then you got our group on the mountain and they realize, oh no, our group's in an ambush, and they realize that everything's about to go horribly wrong, and we go back down to the battlefield where you see our group being shot at and being fired upon, and then you got the big moment with the sonic cannon. Now I really like this. My biggest argument here though is that they're being ambushed yet no one's taking cover or no one's like trying to hide so they don't get like hit. They're all just firing out in the opening. Like, has anybody taught these people how to fight? Like, you go for cover and then start trying to aim back at people. I don't know. Like, that just seemed extremely stupid in my opinion. But maybe that's just me. I feel like that was just something that was like just glazed over as like, just start firing in the air as people start shooting at you. No, don't run for cover. It was just stupid in my opinion. But you got, like I said, you got the moment with the sonic cannon. People are like being blown to bits. And right before the title sequence, you got Bellamy who grabs Octavia trying to get them to cover, but they end up getting hit and end up in a big explosion caused by a sonic cannon. And I really like that scene. Now, after the title sequence, we return to the scene with the two of them. And one of my things right off the bat, though, is I got a con, of course, is that Bellamy and Octavia should never have survived that shot from the sonic cannon. I'm sorry if you think that was cool or whatever. That is unrealistic. And I know fans will say, but this is a TV show. It's not supposed to be realistic. I gotta say, it should be realistic. Should have had some realism here. With that one of them at least being badly injured. I mean, sure, they look hurt, but it's like one of them should have like lost a leg or something. Like, it doesn't make any believable sense as to how they're both like okay, no blood or anything like that anywhere. That just bothered me right off the bat. But I did enjoy the scenes here between the two of them. But you got Bellamy and Octavia going back and forth arguing over what to do. And Octavia still wants to fight. Bellamy saying that they need to go back and surrender. And I love how you got Octavia pinned down. She can't move. And she's forced to watch her people get gunned down as they try to get to her. Or as they try to surrender. Now, amongst the chaos, you got Echo who radios in, wondering what's going on, and Monty pretty much fills her in on the details about how they were ambushed and everything, and how they're like running out of time, they need to get out of there, and but no one is willing to follow anybody, even though they have the numbers, they have no leader. So I really like how they had this issue with the group being divided and there not being a leader. So Echo pretty much devises a plan where she takes Raven and Shaw to go rescue Maddie. So this is a very interesting idea, and I really like how it played out in this episode, because you got the three of them to go to rescue Maddie. Maddie is willing to go, but then of course you got Clarke who shows up not wanting Maddie to go. So I really liked how this whole thing happened. You have a standoff between the two, between Clarke and Echo and her group, and I really like this because it really showed what lengths Clarke's willing to go to protect Maddie. She had put a collar on her because she doesn't want to risk losing her anymore. So I really like that. It's such a really cool and interesting way to see Clarke now as like this mother figure to Maddie, and how she's willing to do whatever it takes. But like I said, we end up in a standoff. Maddie wants to go with them, and they end up fighting. And Echo nearly kills Clarke, but Raven talks her out of it. And it's then revealed that pretty much Clarke betrayed them. And she pretty much had McCreary listen in on everything. And McCreary enters and pretty much kidnaps Raven and Shaw, and to force him to shoot the missiles that want to crew. And he's about to kill Echo, but Clarke convinces him not to, because they could use her for information as a spy. So I really like how everything played out there. It just another really good moment where you got Clarke's mother instincts playing a good role, even though fans I know don't like it. It makes sense, and it's a really good storytelling device. Then we get a nice sit down conversation between Echo and Karka. Now I actually really like these scenes because you get a good viewpoint of how each of these characters view each other. And you got this interesting viewpoint of Clarke, who once saw Echo as someone who's just following orders and is just a ruthless killer, and yet she's now changed into this person who's caring and actually is willing to protect people, and Clarke views her as a good influence on Bellamy. And then on the other side of that, you got Echo, who once viewed Clarke as this villainous person and who was willing to kill hundreds just to protect her people, but now she's changed just to protect Maddie. So it's kind of like they're somewhat have these viewpoints of each other that were once very similar, but now they're the exact opposite, but yet they're similar to each other in their viewpoints. So I kind of really like that. It's a very interesting dynamic, and Clarke realizes that she actually, like I said, was a good influence on Bellamy, and she wants Echo to survive, and decides that she's going to help her once she finds out that Bellamy is actually alive, and he's not dead due to her leaving him to die back in Polis. So she decides to save Echo because McCreary's men were supposed to kill Echo once they're done talking. So she decides to save Echo, which I really like. It was a good move, and it sets up some good stuff. And Clarke realizes that Maddie needs to go with her. Now, we do also get some good back and forth between Maddie and Clarke in these scenes, because you got Maddie and Clarke who are talking about the idea of love and how commanders aren't supposed to love, because Maddie says she took the flame because she loves Clarke. Now, I really like these back and forth scenes again because it brings back Alexa, it brings up some good stuff. Some of the moments were a bit forced, I feel like, maybe a little bit cheesy, but they were good to an extent. So I'm going to give them a pass, some good stuff there. And Clarke ends up killing the guards and letting Maddie go with Echo. And I like the moment before they leave, because Clarke doesn't go with them, but she says, we will meet again, because Maddie's scared that she'll die or Clarke will die and they won't see again. And I really like the callback where Clarke says, you know what, we will see each other again, because you might be the commander, but of course calling back to her old thing, she's the commander of death. So I really like that. Then we get caught back up with Bellamy and Octavia. They end up waiting for night to try to escape and end up running into Indra and Gaia, who is badly wounded from the sonic cannon, and Indra is refusing to let her die. So I really like these moments between the two of them because you see the back and forth as Octavia realizes it's all her fault and she broke one crew. I really love these moments, especially the moment where a guy is like, "Why are you helping me?" Because they end up staying and trying to help, and Octavia says, "Well, you're not a traitor. Yes, I might have thrown you in the pits, but that's because back then you're a traitor. Right now you're one of us, so I'm gonna help you." So I really did like these back and forth moments, and it's just a good character moment where you see Octavia come to face what happened and what she did and what her actions ended up doing to people. So I really like these moments. And then you got them deciding, okay, we're gonna have to make a run for it at one point, but someone's gonna have to stay behind and pretty much sacrifice themselves. And it goes back and forth between Indra and Octavia between which one of them is gonna do it. Personally, I would have been fine with either of them doing it, but Octavia ends up doing it. Now, this is going to be where I have a con again, because Octavia rushes out, pretty much shooting at all the prisoners, trying to cover Bellamy, Indra, so they can get Gaia to safety, and then she ends up running out of ammo. And she's about to face it off. You see lights shining. You think it's the prisoners showing up to kill her. But then it's not. It's our group, the Echo's group, and they end up saving her. Which I have mixed feelings about. Because at one point, okay, I get it. You don't want Octavia to die yet. But I feel like the story could have really benefited from Octavia dying at this moment. But like I said, you got Echo and them showing up. And you got Murphy supplying some gunfire again. The gun doesn't work, and again, annoyed by the whole thing, he ends up having to ditch it, and it blows up. Stupid, idiotic, waste of time, in my opinion. I know fans like that, but I thought it was stupid. But everybody gets rescued, and they end the episode with them driving off, heading back to the wastelands. Now, we did have one little small plot line between Kane and Abby, where they're both trying to deal with what they did. Kane betraying his people, pretty much. He's struggling with that because he doesn't know how he's going to be able to live with himself, since he pretty much gave McCreary the plans to slaughter one crew, which even though he doesn't like Octavia, I feel like he still doesn't like what he did, because pretty much some of those people in one crew he probably does still care about, and he probably regrets doing this. So I understand that. So I really like that back and forth between them, how you got Abby echoing back what he always says, we survived, then we learned how to live with ourselves. But then you got Kane who fires back, who's saying, I just don't know if I can do that anymore. So I really like that. It was a very good moment. But one of the things that frustrated me is because you got Vincent who comes in later on looking to talk to Kane, and he offers him a way to, end his suffering of how he feels. And he says that he wants to help Abby because he thinks that she's better off as a drug addict, and by him killing Kane, it'll help Abby. Look, honestly, this is one of those cons where I'm mixed on, because I get what they're doing here, but I think Vincent could have benefited better if he didn't go out this way, because he ends up attacking Kane and biting him on the neck, nearly killing him. Abby shows up and has to kill him, and it ends with Kane badly injured, his life hanging in the balance. Which, I don't know. I feel like Vincent to go out like this was poor writing. I feel like they needed him to die, but they didn't really know how to kill him off, so they went with this. But overall, with this episode, I feel like it was good. If I had to give it a rating, I maybe give it a 7 out of 10. Nothing higher than that. I think that's reasonable. Had some good character development moments, but had a lot of cons that just kind of frustrated me. But let me know how you feel about the episode in the comment section down below. Alright guys, that's my review for the 100 Season 5 Episode 12 Damocles Part 1. As always, if you liked this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and share. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon. That way don't miss more future 100 content from me moving forward. This has been Vision here with Blind Entertainment, and I'll see you next time.